Yeah, our expectations in coming to Standing Stone, well, it was actually hard to have some expectations. We didn't really quite know what we were getting into.
We were actually the very first couple that Standing Stone had, and so they actually were
experimenting on us?
Yes, and we weren't sure because there wasn't anything to read or anything to look at or even see, and so we didn't have a lot of expectations, and maybe that was a good place for us to be.
Yeah, our reservations in coming to Standing Stone probably had everything to do with time and also the life station that we were in. Was it wise and valuable for us to invest a week to kind of detach from everybody, including our family, to go and to do something that we weren't even really quite sure that we needed?
Mm-hmm. It's always hard to take a week out of your life to do anything, and without your family, we have 3 boys at the time, they were 8 to 13, I believe, and it was challenging to take a week off of them, get childcare for them, and also maybe we wanted to spend a week alone. But we really enjoyed our week, but we did have reservations of, is this the most valuable way we could spend a week?
I think the way that we felt before we went to Standing Stone was not the feeling of burnout or fatigue or conflict. I think that we felt like that we were in a pretty good place, which led us to have conversations driving up like, wow, why are we even going to this thing? But I think that we had this idea that it was going to be good for us, even though we were in a good place, is that it had the potential to bring us to a better place.
I think we felt like, you know, that things were going well, but like a lot of things, you don't really know that there's probably more things that you can do to make your marriage better, to make your family better, to make your ministry better, and we weren't even sure what those were, but we found out some of those in our week there.
Yeah, coming home from Standing Stone was this feeling of refreshment, feeling like our batteries were full and we were ready to dive into another really challenging season of walking in faith and serving God.
One of the days that was significant for us was a day we did dreamstorming with our mentors, and actually we did most of it by ourselves and then came together, and dreamstorming was a time when we really came up with things that we just dreamed of doing. For me, it was hard because it took me a while to even find out that I even had any dreams besides being married and being a mom. And so there was a lot of time just for God just to give me some dreams in my heart. And then we began to just kind of put those together and see where our dreams merged and see where they didn't merge, things that we wanted to accomplish. And it was really significant because through that, we actually ended up in the next year or two getting a boat for our family, which was one of our dreams, and we never thought it could happen. And it's been a significant thing in our family ever since. It's been over 9 years now, and it's just been really fun to maintain that relationship and know that they just really care about our marriage, our ministry, and our family.
I have an ongoing relationship with my mentor. I get contacted by him about once a quarter, and he asks me hard questions, which is really meaningful to me because I know that he cares enough to take some risks in that relationship and making sure that I'm being honest before God and with myself, and I also have to be honest with him as well.
Well, I appreciate the guy asking Lyle really tough questions and wanting him to have a good marriage and wanting us to have a good family, and also for them just to be really concerned about our lives as a family and not always about our ministry. There were some really neat things that happened in our week at Standing Stone that were just kind of experiences, some conversations, some actual tools that we were able to go through that as we left, there are some of those things that we have put into play in our lives on a yearly basis. Even now, thinking back, some of our lives, some of our family life, some of our ministry life is different because of that week that we spent there.
I'd recommend Standing Stone to any ministry couple that wants to finish well and wants to really thrive in their ministry while learning how to enjoy their marriage. Because I believe the Standing Stone experience will help them towards that end.
You know, after the week, it's amazing how when you get away for a few days, you don't even realize that you needed to get away for a few days, that there was more things probably about your marriage, about your family, or even about yourself that God wanted to speak to, and He wanted to adjust. He wanted to adjust, I know, in my own personal life, and I don't think He could have done that without getting me away, and not for 1 or 2 days, which is what we normally get, but really that whole week of really getting a chance to speak to us. And there were just things that we have taken through that week, even now today, that we implement in our lives.